I told my boyfriend that I'm no longer interested in marriage. I, 33F, men have been in a 10-year relationship with my boyfriend Carl, 33 male. After the first year of our relationship I made it very clear that I intended to be a wife someday. By the time I was 28 I started to remind him of my goals and expectations, and Carl told me that while he knew he wanted to marry me he just wasn't ready yet and didn't like how I was pressuring him and called me controlling. Eventually we broke up, but 6 months later we got back together and even moved in. Looking back on it now, I realize that wasn't the best decision, but I was so emotionally attached to this man and felt so invested that I was willing to go back to him. Carl and I have now been living together for 4 years, and while I stopped being happy about it after the first 6 months, living with him isn't a bad experience. Plus I always thought that us getting married was just around the corner, because he said he was ready to commit to me but he wanted to wait for the right time because I deserved a perfect proposal and a more stable husband. I've been going to therapy for the past 2 years and recently had an epiphany. Since childhood I have always wanted a wedding but never really gave much thought to being a married woman 24/7 and what that would mean. Given my country's shift in politics and new laws that politicians are trying to pass, I realize that not only am I fine with never getting married, but I'm starting to lean more into no longer possessing the desire to do it. Since then it feels like I've been set free in a way and started focusing on myself. One of the major things that I've done is tell Carl that I'll no longer assist with babysitting his nephews and niece and instead focus more of my time into getting certified in something to increase my earning potential and just relaxing. Carl seemed nonchalant about it at first but then said that we needed to have a sit down when I sent Carl's mom and his brother a text that they had 3 weeks before I stopped helping out completely. Carl said that while he understands my desire for more personal time, it's important to be there and sacrifice for family. I told him that he could switch around his own work schedule and help with the kids since they're technically his family, and he said that the children love me and that one day they'd be my family too once we were man and wife. It was in that moment that I told him that I no longer desired marriage, and while I gave my reasons Carl still took it as me wanting to break up with him and or thinking that he would make a terrible husband. That is not the case at all, but he's starting to lash out and get suspicious and I just don't know what to do. How can I get my boyfriend to see that it's me not him?